Jennifer is the founder and CEO of Wet Cement. Wet Cement helps advance women at work and develops modern male leaders to create collaborative cultures that foster innovation and growth. Before launching Wet Cement, Jennifer spent 20 years building teams, go-to-market strategies, and global partnerships at technology and media companies, including PwC, Verizon AOL, WebMD, Yahoo, and more. Please give it up for Jennifer.
I'm thrilled to be with you here from across the world. And while we may not share the same language or the same homelands, we all have one thing in common that brings us together and makes us a community. That's we share the same fear. Now, who here can guess what that fear is? Even though we are from around the world, that fear is not snakes. It's not tarantulas or spiders. It's not fire. It's not even death. Can you believe it? It's what I'm doing right now. It's public speaking. And it's what all of the entrepreneurs have done to pitch their businesses who are here. And of course, most of us do at some point throughout our day when it's a powerful presentation where we need to change hearts and minds. That's why in my company, Wet Cement, what we do is we help people make their mark. And we focus on these 5 core pillars to be that fearless speaker that we all want to be. Confidence, communicating assertively, creating compelling content, connecting with your audience, and being in control of the process. And so you're all lucky enough, you're going to get a crash course in confidence today on how to be a fearless speaker. And that's because while we all want to feel fearless, the reality is so many of us don't feel fearless at all. We feel like frauds or fakes or like we're going to be found out. And the reality is this is something that has been studied for the past 40 years, and it's called Impostor Syndrome. And if you feel like you've been touched by this imposter wand at all, it's maybe one of these things. You think, I'm only here because of luck, or timing, I'm in the right place at the right time, or I work longer and harder than everyone else, or maybe it's just people like me, I have a nice personality, and that's the only reason that I've been successful. And this is actually really important for us here today because people feel imposter syndrome most when they feel like they don't fit in. And so when you are a foreigner in a strange land and you feel like you're different than everyone else or you're an expat, it may start to kick in a little bit. It also really kicks in when you feel like you're the only one as it relates to things like race, gender, or even sexual preference. And in fact, it's not the same for everyone. There are 5 different imposter syndrome competence types that can affect us, and we can suffer from one or all of them. So you may be that perfectionist, the perfectionist who feels like, I am going to set the highest bar, and if I don't get 100%, I am going to be so upset with myself. I'm going to ruminate on it for days. I could get a standing ovation here, but I would focus on that one guy in the front row who's busy looking at his phone rather than paying attention. It could be that you're a natural genius, that kind of person that things have come relatively easy for you throughout your life. But then when that one project or one business challenge comes up and you don't know how to handle it, you start to think that everybody's going to find out that maybe I'm really not that good or smart at all. A rugged individualist. This is that person that feels like if they ever ask for or certainly even accept help, everyone will know that they can't really do anything on their own. They could be an expert. Sure, you know one of these folks who feel they need to get certification after certification to try to have the credibility to earn their next step. You'll see people who don't vie for that next promotion because they feel they don't meet all the qualifications can be one of those experts. And finally, the superhero. This is that person who believes they're a phony and a fake, but everybody else is the real deal, of course. And so what they do is they have a full plate, but they keep taking on more and more and more so that they can prove their self-worth. And so if you suffer from any of these things, the first step is recognizing that imperfections are okay. Real perfection does not exist. Another thing that helps is knowing that you're not alone and other people feel like this. So if anyone here has ever felt a bit of the imposter syndrome, let me see you raise your hand. Okay, look around. So the latest research shows 2 out of 3 women at least will feel imposter syndrome in every given year. And go for it before you feel like you're ready. Don't wait until everything is perfect. When you're at 80%, take that leap and then work in an iterative way and learn from your mistakes and grow from there. The reality is people get stuck worrying about the words when they're presenting, but the vast majority of what people will think and feel and take away is not what you say, but it's how you say it. So just 3 things to keep in mind. Take your audience when you're speaking in any setting on a roller coaster. There should be highs and lows. You should go fast and slow. Take them on that journey with you. Begin with the end in mind. When you're done, what do you want them to think, feel, and do? Start there and work backwards. And then finally, the World Cup of Speaking is the Toastmasters national competition. And the winner of last year said her trick is asking questions every minute and a half to 2 minutes. So I will ask all of you, what will you do differently, not only in your next big pitch or tomorrow, but when you go to lunch right after this? And if you need some help, my company would love to be a part of that and help your organization. And we're also launching the first ever online women's leadership coaching and learning platform where being a fearless speaker is one of just 18 topics. And for being a part of the Startup World Cup, you can get $100 off your registration when we launch next month. So remember that when you take that step, every step should be telling you, you got this. Now, go nail that next big pitch, and thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Jennifer. Something that I feel like and believe that we all needed to hear, and I just personally thank you for that. A message that I need the world needs to know about that, so thank you. I'd like to invite John Lim back up to the stage to give a special appreciation to Jennifer. Thank you. And thank you again, Jennifer, for such an incredible